Then we come to the forts. As I mentioned earlier, how the fort of Devgiri was fought, or rather lost. And what Shivaji did was he brought about wide range changes in how the forts were constructed. He built multiple entry and exit points. If you go to Maharashtra, each of these forts you will find having multiple entry and exit points. For example, this is the fort of Torna. This is Zunjar Machi. There is one entry from here and there is one more entry at the opposite end of the fort from Budla Machi. So multiple entry points. Then he devised the architecture accordingly. He had double walled forts such as Rajgarh. He ensured that it had a sufficient amount of not only grain stocked properly on fort, but forts were made self-sufficient. You could actually grow your grain on that fort. They had plenty of water. He built many water tanks, and essentially forts could fight all by themselves. For example, the fort of Ramsej, which is north of Nashik somewhere. This fort is not such a large place, one of the smaller forts of Shivaji. But when Aurangzeb attacked, this single fort fought for 6 years alone. So this is the kind of capabilities Chhatrapati Shivaji's policies had managed to put in the Maharashtra's forts. Another important change he brought about, he knew when he had escaped from Mughal Kashmir in 1668 that Mughals are going to come one fine day to the Deccan. Aurangzeb is going to come and he is going to try and wipe out whatever he has built, Chhatrapati Shivaji has built over here. And with that in mind, right in 1670, we can see how visionary was Chhatrapati Shivaji. That right in 1670, he kept aside money, 1,25,000 for restoration of forts, 1,75,000 for training people and recruiting soldiers to fight for the forts, and he distributed all this money fort wise. About 5,000 to Sewaghat, 10,000 to Torna, 5,000 to Raigad, all these different places. Because he knew that when the Mughal army attacks, it may not be possible for a central location like Raigad to control everything. Forts are going to be cut off from each other. And at this time, they may not have either the ability or the time or the money to every time run to Raigad, ask for funds, ask for help, and then again go back to the fort. By the time that happens, that fort is lost. So he gave this money to each of the forts, and that is why they were able to withstand sieges for long periods of time, because they did not have to worry about repairs and recruits. He also instituted double forts, such that if one fort was about to fall, or if it required supplies, it could be easily supplied from a nearby fort. That is why we find forts in pairs. We have Purandargarh and Vajragarh together. We have Rajgarh and Torana together. We have this Ramsej and a fort called Trimbak together. And it was the fort of Trimbak which was giving supplies to Ramsej and enabled it to withstand 6 years of continuous warfare. So this was the situation. This was the kind of empire built by Shivaji.